Today on the podcast, we have a multi-genre reality star, the OG Bombshell, my girl, Kyra Green. I got a text.
I got a text.
You and Emily having that first kiss, season 1, was the first taste of queer love on Love Island.
I got forever that I'm highly promiscuous because I'm into women, or that I'm attention seeking. I'm doing it for a man's attention. I wasn't there to prove a point. I was there to be myself, and I'm thankful that it really was something for a lot of girls to be like, wow, I have someone like me on TV.
So you've been on so many different reality shows.
America's Got Talent, Love Island Season 1, Match Me If You Can, X on the Beach, Love Island Games, The Challenge.
What was it like being on The Challenge?
It was insane. I mean, I ended up in the hospital.
Oh my God, The Challenge is really a challenge.
It is not for the weak.
When it comes to reality TV, I've got Dibs on this. Welcome to Dibs on This, the podcast that dives into your favorite reality shows straight from the stars who lived it and the producer who helped film it. I'm your host, Michelle DeBellis. Today on the podcast, we have a multi-genre reality star, an absolute babe. She's a singer, model, content creator, and overall a total vibe. She coins herself as the biracial, bisexual, bicoastal queen, and you may know her from Love Island USA Season 1, where she made dating show history. Please welcome the OG Bombshell, my girl, Kyra Green.
Wow, what an intro. Did you
love it?
I'm like sitting here like, oh my God, who is that? Who is she talking about?
I love a good intro. I do it for everybody.
I am grateful for it.
Want to make you feel special.
Amped me up.
Yes.
Hi.
What's up?
It's been, what, like 6 years?
Literally since filming.
Since we saw each other.
I think maybe one time after filming we saw each other, but again, it was like 6 years ago.
It's been a while. But I always say to my family, my girlfriend, I'm like, she was literally like my right-hand woman throughout that whole show of like keeping my sanity and making me feel like I was okay. You know?
Thank you for saying that. So Kyra and I met working on Love Island Season 1.
Yes.
I was the villa producer.
Mm-hmm.
I also just had Yemen on the show.
I know, Yemen. He was just on Temptation Island, which is crazy. Crazy.
Love Island Season 1 was such a pivotal moment for the dating world in America. Like when that show hit in 2019, it started this like new buzz. Everybody was like, yes, dating shows. It was kind of like a new spark in the industry.
Yeah.
And it was fun to be part of Season 1.
It was a roller coaster for sure. I feel like just before getting on the show, my sister was actually the one that they hit up. But I was like such a fan of the UK version. I would watch it with my ex-girlfriend all the time. And I was just like, wow, this is insane. Like never in a billion years did I think that maybe I would do something like that one day.
Wait, your sister was the one that casting reached out to first?
Literally. So she had no clue like what the show was. And they DM'd her and she's like, it's so weird. We had just moved out to LA. We were both just like catering at that point. And we were like off a shift one day. And she was like, this weird, like a producer, I think it's a scam, just hit me up to do Love Island. What even is that? And I literally was like, Tori, what do you mean? What is that? Like I nearly cried and I was like, you have to do it. You have to like message them back. It's not a scam, or even if it is, like it's worth just like hitting them back and saying, okay, like what's up? What is this? And yeah, her first call, we lived together at that point. And I was just like sitting in the background, just like as a fan being like, holy shit, this is how it all goes down. And they were like, is that your sister? And from there out, they had like both of us audition together pretty much. And we both made it to like the final like audition thing. Yeah. And yeah, I ended up getting it. And
oh God, was your sister pissed?
The thing is like, no, my parents raised us to be like, I always say, the Serena Williams sisters. So like, I
love that.
If you're winning, I'm winning, you know, type of thing. The week like coming up to leaving for Fiji, I was just like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I think I actually want to back out. And she was like, you are going. You are doing this for both of us. And it was just like, okay, spread my wings and fly.
This is crazy. Fun fact. Your sister was the one that they hit up and then you're the one who got casted on the show.
Which makes sense, though. She was so outgoing and had like an Instagram that just looked like she was like living this amazing life. And I was way more introverted as well. So it was just like, it made sense for her to do it and made no sense for me to do it because I was so not outgoing like that. But I think it was like exactly what I needed at that point in my life to kind of like spread my wings and fly and go do my thing.
Started
you
it
know?
all from
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, before we jump fully into Love Island, which that was a great little fun fact about the casting process for you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I
Crazy.
just wanted to share with everybody 2 little things that Kyra and I have in common. We're both Pisces.
Hey,
Pisces
Pisces.
sisters. And we're both from New York.
I know.
OG
Wait, what
New
area are you
Yorkers.
from again?
I'm a Long Island girl.
Long Island, yeah.
I was born in Queens.
Okay.
I lived there till I was about 6, but I was raised on Long
Nice.
Island.
I
Like,
love
I
that.
identify with Long Island.
I love that. And I feel like I knew that when I first met you as well,
Yeah.
that like you can tell when someone's just an East Coaster in general.
Yeah.
There's like a certain energy to
Vibe.
it. Although I don't know if I lost that a little bit. Now when people meet me, they're like, you don't give New York, you give LA. And I'm like, damn, what does that mean? What are you trying to say? Because I wish I still had that New Yorker like vibe. But
you
people
have
are like,
the
you don't.
realness. You have the
Okay,
realness.
cool.
I still have the annoying accent, but you have the realness. It's there,
I wish I had
girl.
something. They were like, yeah, no, you don't give it at all. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
So let's talk about Love Island season 1, girl.
Yeah.
Kyra is an OG. Kyra is the OG bombshell from Love Island season 1. She got
That part.
brought in to blow everybody's minds with her gorgeousness and then also personality. So random that they hit up your sis and
Very
ended up
wild.
working out for you. But what made you say, you know what, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to put myself out there and be on reality TV.
Right before I went on the show in general, I was like, I don't think I can do this. I just wasn't that outgoing of a person. Like for a while even, and my sister would say this too, and not in a negative way, but like I lived in her shadow in a sense of like, we went to the same schools, we had the same friend groups, and she was always so outgoing. And I just feel like there was never a moment as a younger sibling, maybe people can relate to this, where I had my own thing. And I was like, you know, able to really represent myself or just not be what everyone thought I
Yeah.
was back at home, which was more of a quiet person. Unless I was drinking, then I was kind of crazy. Which I think some of those stories are what got me on Love Island. So then when I got there and you know, you can't like excessively drink, to be honest, I was way more timid. And they're like, wait, what about all these stories that you told us?
Yeah.
But no, I just saw it as an opportunity to like reinvent yourself. It's like moving to a new country and just
Yeah.
doing this thing where you're plopped into a space that no one knows you.
Yeah.
And you can just be like whoever you want.
Wait, what stories did you tell them leading it and casting? What crazy
No,
stories
like-
did you tell them?
I grew up in modeling as well, which is like a fast pace, like you're put into almost like this very adult world.
Yeah.
So I at a young age was like going clubbing
Yeah.
and just like being this party girl in New York City. So I would get litty titty.
Litty titty.
Litty titty. And I remember one of my stories was like, I left the club and got in an Uber. My Uber driver was cute. And like literally while driving, like on the highway, I like found my way to the front seat and like made out with this man. And like that was one of my stories. I just had all of these crazy party stories that they
Yeah.
were like, oh, she's gonna get up in
Bring
there
it.
and be wild.
Mhm.
And yeah, I pretty much went in and I feel like I wasn't wild, but I definitely had a very human experience
Yeah.
where like I would be an open book, and then the second that it would get serious with someone in there, I would kind of just backpedal. And then when I saw them kind of like floundering away, I'd be like, wait, no, come back. And that in a sense is toxic.
You learned
know?
that about yourself.
So I
you were
learned
like,
that.
wait a minute.
Yeah, like watching it back, I was like, oh, I was terrified and definitely not in a sense like ready for love or for what the show's premise of finding someone was. And I just watched myself have a human experience of doing that back and forth thing that I was like, I don't want to bring that into, you know, my next relationship.
That's so big of you. That's so mature of you too. I mean, you know, this was 6 years ago. You were a
Yeah.
lot younger then.
Yeah,
So to
that's
throw
true
your
too.
dive into something you were afraid to do.
Yeah.
Everyone's afraid to do reality
Yeah.
TV. I give
Mhm.
you guys all credit because it's something you
It's
never done
crazy.
before.
And you don't think that you're going to fall in love. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was like, I'm going to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to like make out with some cuties. But besides that, I'm not going to fall in
In
love.
love.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, no
And I
way.
feel like I did. So it happened, you know, and that
Who
was
did you fall in
terrifying.
love with?
Cash.
Cashel.
Yeah. He was someone that I was like, wow, like this is someone I really would have gone for in the
Yeah.
outside world. And I have a very quirky type when it comes to
Mhm.
men. So I didn't really think that that was going to be there. And
Yeah.
then when he was there, I kind of was like, oh my gosh, that's insane.
The
And
casting people are masterminds. They do
Mhm.
such an amazing job. I'm not part of the casting process on the reality shows. I just meet you when you've all made it.
you
And
just
I'm like,
deal with the
"Welcome!
craziness
What
of
up?"
of all of our emotions. That's what you have to deal with.
That is.
Yeah.
Mommy Michelle, right?
Literally.
The highs and the lows I deal with all the time when you guys are there, but the casting is always so fascinating to me. And they do know your guys' types. You know, you fill out like a 300 question suit.
So many interviews. Yeah. So no, it makes sense. I was just surprised that he was there. And then, we went through our motions throughout the show. And, we had just like I said, a very authentic, real experience that I feel like could have been something that happened in the outside world. And I truly believe this too. Like, you bond with people when you sleep next to them. And that first night, that first night that you're there and you couple up with someone,
you have to
getting in bed with them. And like, I didn't do any funny business on my season of Love Island. I won't say that about maybe other shows, but I was very like, good girl. But like, still you sit in that bed and you're talking.
Yeah.
You don't go right to sleep. So you're having pillow talk and you're just spending every day with these people and then being brought on extravagant dates, like with the show, dates that you would have never experienced, in the outside world. Things are going to move very, very fast. And for me, before I even realized it, I was like, holy shiz, I'm like falling for this guy. And like, now I can't even in the real world, I would ghost a lot of people, which once again was terrible.
But you learned that about yourself.
I learned that about myself. And I also realized very soon in there that I could not leave. Like, I could leave, but I couldn't like say bye to that person that I'm kind of starting to fall for and like give myself space to like detach a little bit. It was just like a constant, oh my gosh, I'm liking this guy and I'm stuck here and I know I'm going to like him more and more. And that's terrifying,
It's not as easy to detach in an island or at all.
It's impossible. Yeah. It's literally impossible. All you have is 24/7 to talk.
Yeah.
There's no space in between the dates. It's an everyday date, and then you have producers. Like I said to my girlfriend, like, you were my person in there of like, okay, she's going to be real with me, which I think you also don't find that a lot as well in producers. Of course. Yeah. Like, I've done several shows since, and you can tell when they're kind of trying to push you a certain direction. And I'm in tune, and I know, like, if that's not for me, I'll be confident enough to be like, I'm not going to do that.
Right, of
but
course.
Some people don't do that. And like I said, then they come out and the public's like, oh my God, you're terrible. And they don't know what happened behind the scenes. But yeah, you were always just like, follow your gut and don't do anything that you don't want to do, which really allowed me to be myself on the show. Which
100%. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
of course.
You for saying
I mean it.
I mean, truly, like, thank you. Like, that's like my job. I really understand what you guys are going through. I'm not the one on camera sitting there getting questioned, but I'm the one
Temptation
questioning.
Island.
I know. I had a cameo.
That's Michelle.
I had a crazy cameo on Temptation Island.
I was even thinking in that moment how lucky she was to have you in that moment. No, there were many times where I just felt like in there. I think I said it to you once where I was like, I want to go. I had just hit a point where I was like, I think I need to leave.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm not going to tell you no, but do what you can be strong and you can stay in this and you can follow it through. And I was just like, I didn't come here to be a quitter. Bring me back in, champ.
A little gas up.
Yeah.
A little pump up chat.
Yeah. I feel like there were so many times where I asked you, like, what should I do?
Yeah, tell me what to say.
You actually made me angry sometimes because you'd be like, you have to do what's right for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm asking for it. Like,
advice.
Just help me. Like, tell me what's right and wrong. And you were like, you have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I always say this as well.
Weigh out your options.
Weigh out your
That's
options.
what I always say.
Yeah, literally, you have to. But it's terrifying because it lives on camera.
Yeah, exactly.
And I always say this too, like, a lot of the moves that you're seeing these reality stars make, you've probably done. Yeah. You've probably gotten a little drunk and made a wrong decision or acted crazy or said something that you didn't mean, and it wasn't filmed. Right. And that time passed and no one can pull this up and be like, well, you are this person because you did this. Mm-hmm. Whereas like as a reality TV person, you have like this history online that I'll say this too, like sometimes people don't let you grow out of it.
It's true.
You really go into it knowing none of this stuff will ever go away.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that.
Has being on the show and realizing these qualities about yourself in regards to dating, did that help you like moving forward in your real life?
1000%. Like I said, I watched the show back because I was like, I need to see what everyone else is seeing.
Of course you have to watch it back.
Like I remember I came out and I FaceTimed my parents first and literally just my first words were, how did I do? Like, am I okay? Am I okay out there? And they were like, no, you had like such a beautiful, authentic like experience and that was shown. Like
you did. You had a great story arc.
Yeah. So I watched it and I was just like, okay, like you just very easy right off the bat see how you're moving.
Right.
And just like my facial expressions, sometimes I'm like, you are terrified and you're making not a good decision right now. What are you doing? Like, how could you not see that in the moment?
Yeah.
Like, were you going crazy? Like, what's going on?
This is like for the people who really want to know like some insight about reality TV. When you're on Love Island, you're filming 24/7.
Yeah.
And they have 24 hours to turn around an episode. One episode comes out every single day, Monday
Insane.
through Friday, which
Best
is
show ever.
crazy. It really is. It's an amazing feat.
Mhm.
There's so much production that goes into it because there's no like, let's take all the footage and go back and now edit it.
Make
after
stories.
the fact, right?
Yeah.
It's what is happening, what is happening,
Mhm.
what is happening. So for someone like you who was on the show, your family got to watch
Yeah.
you while you were in Fiji,
Mhm.
which is such a safe feeling for them, like
Yes.
knowing you're okay, seeing that you look healthy, all those things, right?
Mhm.
And then when you're done filming, however long you're on the show for, you go home and immediately watch yourself.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's not like that on other dating shows,
No,
which is
there's-
crazy. They have to wait a year and a half sometimes to
Yes.
see.
Which I did X on the Beach, and it was exactly
Yeah.
that situation where it was a little over a year, and I had so much anxiety because you don't know.
You have no clue
No idea.
what's going to be in there. And also when so much time passes, you not only dwell, there's like a period of time that I feel like you dwell on what are they going to put on TV.
Yeah.
And then there's a period of time that you forget.
Mhm.
And then you watch and you're like, what the fuck?
No, literally, because you don't know what they're going to show. So yeah, I always say Love Island's like ripping off the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're getting like the second that it happens, whereas the other shows that I've done and there's editing and this whole process, it's just like a slow Band-Aid where I'm like, what the freak is going to happen?
Which is such a big thing in reality. We
Mhm.
film so much.
Yeah.
We film an ungodly amount of content and it all gets edited down to small chats and things like that. You can't have a 25-minute
No.
conversation with
Mhm.
every couple on
Yeah.
the show because that would be like a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
So it's all those reasons why it gets cut down.
And I don't know if you remember this, but towards the end, especially like you get more comfy. Like when you first get there, you're like, I can't do anything wrong. Or even like when it comes to talking to producers, like
Yeah.
I can't like talk back and you should always be kind. But like
Right.
you get a little bit more comfy. And I remember we weren't allowed to curse because it was on CBS.
Right.
So we were told like if you're cursing a lot, like we can't use that. So I remember at one point, us and the girls, we'd be like, when I fuck said fuck that fuck I fuck, like we would put a curse word in between each word of whatever we were saying so that they couldn't like
Use it.
put it in there. And I remember they would get
So
mad, but we were like
funny. Coded.
coded, like
Coded,
can't do
honey.
shit now.
Every other word's a curse word. Try to edit that shit.
Literally, I remember too with the drinking, and we got in trouble because like Elizabeth wouldn't drink, and I remember she gave me her glass of wine at one point, and you
So
weren't
you
supposed
had
to.
3 instead of 2 glasses of
And I
wine.
remember I got in trouble, but I was just like, at that point, once again, I think it was around the time where I was like, I'm ready to go.
I'm done.
Like, I don't care. I was just being a rebel at that point. which
Yeah,
is-
of course. Do your
Yeah.
thing. That's a really fun fact too. On Love Island, they're very strict, and this is a good thing
so good.
about the alcohol intake. You're only allowed 2 drinks a night.
Which
2
I
beers, 2 wines. You could have 1 and 1, but
Mhm.
you're not allowed to have more than that, which is crazy because
Yeah.
in the real world we're like, throw it back,
Mhm,
baby.
mhm.
But it is a good thing for safety. You know what I mean?
was so grateful for that. I've been on other shows where they're not as strict as Love Island was with the drinking. And it's like one thing to do that stuff in your normal life. We all have a night where we drink a lot and it's an experience. You tell your girlfriends the next day, like, it's so crazy. I went home with this person and like, I just met whatever. But when it comes to reality TV, and I won't speak for everyone, for me personally, I'm so happy that I wasn't able to like go there on TV. And I won't say what show, but there was one of the shows that I went on and there was a night where I drank a lot and I did not sleep with anyone on Love Island. But on this show, I did. And I was like, it was one of those shows where they edit as well. And I
Mhm.
just remember, because my family watches all of my shows,
Of course.
being so terrified of like how they were going to show it. And I
Yeah.
knew that
What
I
they were
thought
gonna
like
show.
what they were going to show. And thank everything in this universe, they just never aired it.
Oh my
So I was just like,
yes.
and once again, lesson learned, because that would have just lived out there forever. And I
Yeah.
have nothing against people doing that. But for me personally, and I actually thought I would have been fine with it if you had asked me beforehand.
Yeah.
But after doing it and then knowing that it might be aired, I was just so grateful that it wasn't,
I know. It's crazy. No, I love
Yeah.
having this conversation with you because you're someone who's in the spotlight. You're a reality star.
Yeah.
So many people want to be on reality TV and want to have the experiences that you've had, which is awesome.
No, it's fun.
But it's nice to hear like there's a lot that comes along with it. It's
There's
not
so
all just glitz
much.
and glam. It's like
No.
emotional roller coasters.
No, I've always said 90% is amazing. Like I've did the challenge, like a show that once again I proved to myself I could do all these crazy daredevil things and like jump off of buildings and like swim in the middle of Argentina, like random stuff that every step of the way it's shown me like, okay, Kyra, you had this thought of yourself, but you actually are this, you can do all these different things and you don't have to put yourself in a box. Whereas like there is that 10% I would say of reality TV where it does come with the social media and sometimes like the bullying online or you know, people getting just like nasty messages. And that, you know, if it's happening enough can really hurt you. But I think they don't see you. They see you as like a character, you know, and it helped me in the sense of, how I move throughout life, my relationships. And I had another show, Romance, that then ended up being once again outside of the show, relationship that went terribly. That even in that sense, once again, I think I just like, after that was like, no more dating shows. And I need to apply everything that I learned with someone outside of this world, you know? Which is why I'm in a relationship now with someone not from reality TV. But all of it helped me to come to her as like a whole person that is a good person, like good partner, you know? Yeah.
You went through a lot of learning to get to where you're at. But that's normal. That's great. I love that you've had that experience.
It's a journey.
Being on Love Island season 1, when you first got casted, did they know that you were bisexual?
Yeah, I had actually said to them, I've mostly dated women.
Okay.
And I've only been in relationships with women.
Nice.
But I've like hooked up with men.
Yeah.
But I had also just like lost my boy V card, like literally the year that I got put on Love Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was just like
fascinating. She was fresh to the boys.
I was a newbie. Yeah. In so many senses and really hadn't gone on a lot of dates with men. Like very much so thought I was a lesbian for majority of my life. And then when I moved to LA, I ended up falling for this boy, one of my sister's like best friends. And I was like, okay, there's this whole other side of me that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then that following year started auditioning and I was very open with them. And I very much so several times was like, but there are going to be girls that like girls on there, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, they probably didn't know at that point, but they're like, yeah, no, we're not like not casting people like, we're not just casting straight people because we're also casting you. So duh.
Yeah.
So I thought going on it, there were going to be other girls that were into girls, but not for a while.
Not for a while. Emily came on at the very end.
I know. And she was still, what she said on the show, more of like bi-curious. Like she was figuring it out, which in my past I had, you know, dated women who were figuring it out. My first love was figuring it out. And
you're like, but I've figured it out.
I figured it out. And like, and there's nothing wrong with figuring it out.
No.
But I was just at a point in my life where I wanted someone who had figured it out.
Yeah, because you did as well.
Yeah, and knew that they could feel like that for me. You know, I didn't want to like put my emotions out there to possibly have someone turn around, which has happened before, and be like, I actually don't think I can date a girl, you know? And then you're just like,
oh, I threw all this emotion and effort into this.
But people loved it.
I think it's so interesting. Like, I want people to know that, like, going into Love Island, everybody knew that you were bi. Like, the audience at home didn't know that because it wasn't, like, presented to them that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
which I loved. It wasn't like, you know, sometimes you say I'm into girls and it's sexualized and it's made into this whole thing.
Right.
You know, but it was very natural how it played out on the show. And nothing really came of it until I know I talked to Yaman about it early on and they aired that. But Emily came in and it was just, I wasn't also gonna just go for a girl because I said I was into girls. Like, she just happened to come on and I was like, that is my type. Like, that's exactly what I said. And it played out. I think it was really natural how everything happened. But I think I was so surprised by how much people shipped us and wanted us to be together once I came out. Well, like they loved me and Cashel together, but they really wanted me and Emily to play out and for that to happen. And I think coming out of it, you know, once again, Emily was with Weston. I dated Cashel for a while, but we actually ended up like rekindling and like starting to travel together. And then we went on X on the beach together. And I don't know, I feel like we were cursed in the sense that it just never worked out, you know, but it was insane. And I think it showed a lot of people the different stages of being, you know, comfortable in your sexuality or knowing who you
Yes.
are. Like I was very much so like, I know that I want to be with women and like that I'm into both. And Emily was kind of on that beginning journey, and it just showed those two types of people that I don't think you really see on reality TV a
No,
lot.
you don't. And that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about this because especially on Love Island,
Yeah.
there was only one gay couple ever to be
Mhm.
seen.
Was it like in France or something?
I
or-
think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you guys, like
Mhm.
literally you and Emily, like having that first kiss season
Yeah.
1 was like the first like taste of queer love
Yeah.
on Love Island. And we were
Mhm.
like, what the hell? Like
No.
this should be more of a regular thing.
There's been other shows where it's almost been like fluid as well. I think Are You the One did it?
Mhm.
But it's usually very sexualized, and it's not like the best that happens, but it just ends up happening sometimes. And I feel like
That's annoying.
it's annoying. And
Yeah.
I feel like that didn't thankfully happen to me on Love Island.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was accepted for me. Did I wish there were more girls that washed up onto the shore that were into girls? Yes. But I think they showed it very authentically. And yeah, I was grateful that she ended up coming in, because even though it didn't play out and we didn't end up coupling up with each other, it really was just like something for a lot of girls to see back at home, or
Yeah.
anyone to be like, wow, I like have someone like me on TV.
Exactly.
You know?
I
And
love that moment happened.
It was everything. And
representation.
yeah, and
it's
that's
okay to be bi.
exactly.
Be yourself.
Exactly. And that's been like my calling since the show, because coming off of it and just having so many people DM me and come out to me and ask for advice, or like when
So sweet, Kyra.
that's like one of the things that I've just like brought from the show and continued on with social media, of just trying to be that safe space, whether we're DMing or you're just coming to my page and like you're seeing me talk about it or be in a healthy relationship with my girlfriend, because you don't get that a lot on TV.
That must be such a good feeling to know that you can like help people get through
No,
whatever it
yeah.
is they're going through.
Because I always say this, I had Ellen, which was great.
Yeah.
I mean, she had her things, I guess, but
no, but she was like the
but
first queer
yeah.
woman, like publicly. Her and Rosie O'Donnell,
Exactly.
like big time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that was still hard for me in the sense, because in a way, labels or whatever, I think, but I am more feminine, and I wasn't white, and I didn't have short hair, and I was just very much like, okay, she likes women like I do, but am I weird? Do I need to look like her? Like all these different things. So I think over time there's been more representation, and thankfully someone like me, like a Black girl or maybe a more femme girl, or just someone that's on TV being themselves and likes women, that they can be like, oh, that's like me. And now I feel more comfortable. I wish I had that. So I'm happy that I could be that for some people.
I love that. That's so cool.
It was fun.
It's
fun
awesome.
still.
It's fun to say, and it's also cool to like be a part of history. Like it sounds kind of
cool.
corny, but like it's not. Like
no, it's
on
Love Island,
it's
man.
Love Island, man, and like it's like the OG massive dating show.
Yeah, especially now. Like the past season popped off, but like I said, I was
Yes.
such a fan. I remember watching it and just being obsessed. So it still feels not real that I was now on 2 seasons of Love Island and like experienced that.
I love it. So you've been on so many different reality shows.
Insane.
Like all different genres.
Yeah, this is the first year that I was like, I'm good.
Yeah. I know.
Literally since Love Island, this is the first year.
Wow. So 6 years you've been pumping them out.
Yeah.
So it started with America's Got Talent, actually, right?
America's Got Talent.
So fun fact, Kyra was
Yes.
on America's Got Talent with her brother and sister.
Yeah, we were in a band. We literally started out just like playing in the subway stations of New York City and got scouted and flew out, and yeah, we did it. It was
so
fun.
You
was
were
a good
like
time.
16?
I was 16. Yeah, I was middle child. My brother was 14, sister
Yeah.
18, and it was a fun experience. It's still
so-
on YouTube.
I actually watched it. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, it was
I'm
so
dead.
fun. Rumor has it.
It was a good, rumor has it. Yes.
So that was fun. Yeah, and you got really good feedback from the judges, which was
Thank
cool. So
you.
that was your first taste of reality TV.
First taste reality TV.
And then you jumped into the dating world years later. And then from then, so then you did Love Island season 1.
Love Island season 1. I did a show called like Match Me If You Can. I did X on the Beach. I did The Challenge. I did Love Island Games.
Everyone is obsessed with the challenge.
It's crazy.
What was it like being on the challenge? First of all, how'd you get the call?
Okay, so once again, that was a situation where never thought I would do it. I'm
Yeah.
not the adventurous type. I'm like, I will say I'm athletic in the sense that I grew up in like a theater kid. Like I
Yeah.
did dance class, all this different stuff, but I never did sports.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was never the type on vacation to be like, let's go snorkeling or let's jump off of the cliff.
Right.
Like I was like, let me sit by the pool
beach
with my mimosa and I'll see you guys when you get back from Adventure Time. Like I'm okay.
love it.
So they hit me up like right after I got out of Love Island season 1.
Okay.
And like 2 or maybe 3 years in a row, I said no. Like
she said,
I just was like, absolutely not. That's not for me. And I see people break their arms on that show. I see people end up in the hospital.
People get injured, like
Mhm.
legitimately.
Yeah.
Like these are crazy, crazy tasks.
In
that
like
they're
Love
being asked to do.
Island, Love Island, I remember Alex like cutting her foot with like some glass or something from a, and you guys are like, ah, and everyone like runs to her, and you know she's taken away, and like it's fixed. Whereas I watched the show as well, the challenge, and people would get hurt, and it's like a highlight of the show. So I'm like, they're definitely not like putting us in environments where they're like, God forbid they get hurt. It's almost like a sense of, not that they want us to get hurt, but it would be great TV.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh God. It's like it has a little bit of like a dark undertone because it is
It's
such
just-
a physical show. So
yeah.
if someone gets physically hurt, it's
Exactly.
like a massive story.
Exactly. And I always thought maybe, okay, I could do Fear Factor because that's just like I can face my fears in the sense of like drowning or being like surrounded by bugs or like.
The bugs get me. I
But
always
I could
think of
do
like,
that.
Yeah, okay.
But
You're
like
I don't
going
wanna,
off of the side of a building
No.
attached to a wire.
like bungee cord shit.
Yeah. I just.
Over water.
No. So every year I was like, absolutely not. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little hustler girl. So once the rate, I guess on the 3rd year, they came to me with it. And I
Yeah.
was like, I can do it.
Okay, fine. You gave me enough money this time.
Yeah. And I was like, maybe, I'll just go on and like, I'm not going to last long. So
Yeah.
like, I'll get my coin and I'll ski,
Yeah.
But once again, it turned into being a situation where I was so proud of myself. Like, I lasted more than halfway through the show and
Crazy.
just every week, even my parents watching it back, they were just like, who are you?
Who is that person?
Yeah. And I did 1 season. I'll never do it again.
So the moral of the story is if you give Kyra enough money, she'll do it.
Hey, I've been like a little hustler since day one.
No, I love you. I'm just kidding.
No,
I
but
get it. It's the name of the game.
It's the name
business.
of the game.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I did. It
Yeah.
showed me, that I could do these insane things. And like my boyfriend at the time, he was a trainer. So he like really helped me train for it. And I thankfully had like other Love Islanders on the show. And it was insane. I mean, I ended up in the hospital.
Yeah. Did you get hurt filming the challenge?
I didn't get hurt, but one of the competitions, we like pulled up to this big boat in the middle. We were in Argentina somewhere. And when I say it was dookie water,
Oh God.
disgusting.
Brown, green.
Disgusting.
Ugh.
And I was like, there's no way that they're going to put us in this water. And I'm not like, I can swim, but I think just once again, like you're just stressed out. And I think I was swallowing
The water.
a lot of the water.
Oh my God.
lot of the water.
Yeah. Also, you're like gasping. You're out of breath. You're competing.
It was a lot. So yeah, I ingested a lot of the water. I ended up getting super, super ill. Like
Girl.
just couldn't keep down water, couldn't keep down anything. And I'm throwing up. I'm low-key having like panic attacks because I'm like, this is not okay.
'Cause you know
What
how
did I
sick you are,
just?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Put
they brought
in
me
my
to the
body.
hospital. Literally.
What's in my body?
Literally. And health is wealth, man.
Yeah.
There's never enough, honestly, for your health for a paycheck either, I will say.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I went to the hospital and they didn't like take blood or anything. So I'm like, this is crazy. They just like took my pulse like with this little monitor and they're like, she's good. And then I was thrown right into another competition after maybe having like 1 spoonful of rice and barely any water. And I like had to jump off of this other big ship thing. And I'm surprised I didn't get a concussion because I kept on like nearly passing out before hitting the water. It was crazy.
Oh my God. The challenge is really a challenge.
It is not for the weak. And yeah,
it
was
fucking crazy.
It's terrifying.
Whoa.
And I'm happy to say I lived it. It's like one of those like
Yeah.
experiences. But yeah, I still actually don't think, no, they could offer $1 million for a season and I would be like, I am okay.
That's nuts. Yeah, well, because you've been through it.
Lived
so
through
you're
it.
like, it's fine.
And
What
made
was
it out without breaking anything. So that was great.
Yeah, you didn't break anything, but you did swallow the most disgusting
The
water
dookie
on the
water.
planet. And then like your brain, you're like thinking like, oh my God, what's in my body? What's in my body?
What's in my body?
What's in my
Yeah, it was scary. But then, yeah, I did like a full physical when I got back and
Yeah.
everything was fine. But
It made you stronger.
it made me stronger and it made me very grateful for Love Island and the dating shows in general, where I'm like, wow, we really just get to go on dates and drink by the pool and,
yeah, so chill.
tan. That's
You're
great.
like, I appreciated that.
Literally. I love the romance though.
Being on the challenge, there's also some romance that happens, right?
Yeah.
Was there romance for you on the challenge?
No, I mean, they brought on Cashel, which I tried helping him in the sense of like being like, okay, we have to like have a Love Island alliance, or like you have to like stick with this person or do this. And he was just like, nah, like everyone's just homies here. Like I'm good friends with Tyson. Like he's going to have my back. Tyson sends him home. I'm like,
you're like,
I tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen, you know?
You know what though? That's great. You know, it's great. It is what it is. Like he was true to himself. You were trying to help him out.
Exactly.
The story unfolded the way it unfolded.
Yeah. So it's really hard. Like I said, my family was very happy when I started dating my girlfriend, because not meeting someone in a show allows you to just right off the bat know how they move in their real life, who they surround themselves with. I think that's like a big thing on like knowing if someone's good for you is their friends.
Oh my God, 100%.
And how they treat them.
100%.
So
some of my husband's best friends were my best friends.
Exactly.
I couldn't picture my life without them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just in the same sense that it's so fun because you can reinvent yourself in these villas and on TV, you are reinventing yourself, or you're being somewhat different because it's not your normal environment.
Weird. You got eyes on you constantly. You got these lenses moving around you and stuff.
Yeah.
And like every word that comes out of your mouth, you're like,
yeah,
a million people are going to hear that.
No, I think
a million people are going to hear that.
And I think all of us relate in the sense that when you come out in couples and relationships, you almost have to have like this sit down with your person of being like, here's the things that I didn't say. Or here's like what I was feeling in this moment, but like I actually didn't say it because all these cameras were around and I was scared to say something wrong.
Right.
You know, you almost have to have that sit down with your person. At least me and Cash did. And when I got out with my ex from Ex on the Beach, it's just like you have to have that moment where you're like, this is also my life. And parts that I didn't want to share on TV because you don't want to share everything.
You don't, and you don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you went on Ex on the Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ex on the Beach is a big one. This is an MTV one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Very different.
Very different
platform. MTV, I remember being like, cray.
Yeah.
Like you were going to watch
the biggest
that.
reality TV of all time.
Exactly. Like you knew watching MTV, you're going to get some crazy shiz.
Right.
So I knew when I heard that it was on MTV, Ex on the Beach, and that's like the network that I was going to do.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, this is going to be different. I'm going to have to keep my wits about me because it's definitely a little bit more crazy.
It's like MTV's reality style is like more like amped up. Like it's more like sassy drama attitude.
You can get drunk. You can like randomly like party and hook up, and definitely something where I was like, okay, do I fit this?
Yeah.
And I remember the producers saying before going in it that they were actually like kind of revamping it, because I remember like watching an Ex on the Beach where like another girl kicked another girl in her vajayjay, and like it was just like crazy.
Savage.
It was like giving Bad Girls Club, and I was like, I'm not a fighter.
Right.
I've never been in, I may be from Harlem, but I've never actually been in a physical fight in my life. My mouth has gotten me out of a lot of stuff, thankfully. But like, I don't know what I would do if there's like other girls on there or people in general that are going to like amp up like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be entertaining if that's what I'm like
right
in the midst of. Like, I'm going to be probably boring. And they're like, we're revamping it. It's going to be way more like Love Island where it's lovey-dovey.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I would say it was like a happy medium.
Yeah.
But once again, I'll say Love Island is bougie. We had like food that was brought to us. It was like this beautiful villa. It was just clean. It was nice. I remember we had like a cleaning lady at least once a week.
Yeah.
Whereas like Ex on the Beach, we were in the trenches.
Oh,
like
man.
By the end of filming, there were like crusty food everywhere, flies everywhere, bugs everywhere, like
gross,
gnarly. We were starving because it was up to us to cook.
Oh my God. Yeah, we fed you guys.
Yes.
We would like put secret food through the cupboard wall.
I think
you
breakfast.
Guys weren't allowed to see the outside world. And we had this cupboard that was two-sided.
Yeah.
And I would slide snacks through there.
I remember there were like movie nights where we would get certain snacks and we would just be like, we would call it like the voice of God, where we'd be like, can I have chocolate and popcorn? And it would just arrive.
Then it would be in the cupboard.
No, we were spoiled. So yeah, to go on Ex on the Beach and then even the challenge. Yeah. It was like the challenge, I was in like an abandoned warehouse, but it was definitely like.
Yeah, because on Love Island, you have to cook yourselves breakfast.
That's it.
And then we provide the rest of the meals for you. We just slide them in the little door.
Yeah, no, it was like harsh reality.
That's crazy though, that Ex on the Beach, you had to cook all yourself, so and you're like starving.
Never a cleaning person ever. Whoa. And it was just like, I sound bougie right now, but I'm like, no, it was because people don't clean up after themselves. No. And like, it just ended up being So gross.
So many roommates that you didn't ask for.
So many roommates. We had like little twin beds. Like I remember even the mattresses in Love Island being so comfortable. The sheets were always clean. Like the beds were made for us. Like, and then
The
X on
glory
the beach.
days.
Yeah, like people would eat in their beds on X on the beach, and then you'd switch beds, and then you're like rolling over into someone else's crumbs. Like it was just different.
Oh my God. So
Different.
wait, you went on X on the Beach with Emily?
We were the exes, yes.
So
because
like when you get casted on the show,
Mhm.
do you know that you're getting casted with your ex?
Yeah, we're not supposed to, but with all these shows, you can only really not know who's going on shows when it's like
Yeah.
your first time and you just don't know the world or the people.
Yeah.
But they recycle us, I always say, so much. So like like everyone's
Yeah.
like, oh, this show is happening, and someone's like, yeah, well, blah 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 is going on it.
So like you like assumed you were gonna see Emily. So then
Yeah.
that's how it is, right? So they cast
Exactly.
you and your ex without telling one
Yes,
another.
and then they put us on. Well, they'll put one person on. You almost like connect with other people possibly, and then your ex rolls up and is like, I'm here, what's up? And it's just like this crazy situation. And I just
Welcome
remember
to the party.
literally, but I was put in there for like 2 weeks before Emily came in. And like I said, with that time, it's easy to connect. And me and Emily really did want to try in there. And it was kind of me in the sense of like I connected with this other person before she came in. And by the time she came in, I was just in like la la love land and
With a guy.
And I felt terrible. Not terrible, but like I felt bad about it, throughout it, because I was like, damn, this really was our moment to try.
Yeah.
And it just like the timing and almost probably what they did on purpose, where they're like, oh, let's keep her out because this is going on.
Yeah.
So it'll be even crazier when we bring Emily in, and Emily's a firecracker,
She's
so
such a firecracker.
she's not going to let anything go smoothly. And
Love
she gave
her.
me a rough time for a little bit, but I respect her for it.
Yeah, well, because she was like, damn.
Yeah, she's like, what the heck? Like, this was supposed to be like our time to
Yeah.
try. And I was just like,
So who was the
falling.
man that you connected with on Sex on the Beach?
I don't want to say his name.
Okay, so the man we do not mention.
The man
Was it because it was a bad breakup?
so bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was just one of those situations where you just don't know what you're signing up for because you're meeting this person on TV. So
was he very different outside of filming?
Very different.
Oh, that's so rough. I'm sorry. This is a challenge. This is what I'm saying. Like, if people who want to be on reality, like, this is what happens if you're on a reality TV show.
You don't know what you're signing up for. You don't know who you're going to fall for. And there's no way to do a background check.
So bad breakup with the guy that you met on X on the Beach.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was different outside of the filming experience.
Yeah.
Emily and you stayed cool.
Mhm.
You missed your opportunity to shine on TV, but you're still friends.
We're still friends.
Did
oh my
you
God.
guys have a little romantic in real life? You and Miss Emily?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've actually publicly talked about this. The most
Yeah.
crazy thing that happened was we had a three-way.
Yes.
Like literally right out of filming.
After X on the Beach.
Yeah.
You,
with
Emily, and the guy.
the guy.
Man?
Yes.
That lucky motherfucker. Whoever you are.
He was terrified. It was actually so funny. Ray from my season of Love
Of course,
Island
I love Ray.
was also on X on the Beach with us. And
Yes.
Ray had to give him a pep talk because he was just like terrified.
I mean, how he handled you and Emily, the two hottest bitches I know, is insane.
It's just one of those moments where you're like, I'm living life.
You know
and
what?
I'm
He
having
also
fun.
probably thinks about that moment every day too, Kyra. I'm sure it was his like highlight
God.
pinnacle of his moment.
So crazy. And something, it was just, like I said, Emily, like we never dated, but we went on trips together and we always had like this fun relationship. It just never grew to something more.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to Emily. We love you, girl.
I love you, girl. She's in a beautiful relationship with her boyfriend, and I'm so in love with my girlfriend, and we just always message each other like, I'm so happy for you, and I'm
supportive
happy.
of each other.
Yeah, happy that you
Friends
found your
forever.
person,
So on Love Island season 1, you had a kiss with Emily. You guys never really coupled up, but there was a little fling there.
A little something.
You then went on X on the Beach and had the whole little thing there.
Yes.
But then you went back on Love Island Games.
Mhm.
First time they did that. And you were coupled up with a girl, with Megan, right?
Mhm.
That was the first same-sex coupling that we saw in the American franchise ever.
Which
Was so epic.
it was insane.
What was that like for you?
Well, once again, going in, like I said, I've always been very vocal with them about who I am. Like I was never going to go into a situation just because a show is a certain type of way and not be true to myself,
Mm-hmm.
But like I also said, I was a fan of the UK version.
Yes.
So when
And we
I
saw
came,
that already.
yeah, I had already seen Megan's season, so I didn't tell her this, but I definitely was like a low-key fan. And you follow people once they leave the villa. I knew that she had dated a woman, like she was into women, so when I went in there, I immediately saw her, and I always thought she was like drop dead beautiful. And yeah, I shot my shoot, whatever. Like I did the damn thing. I was like, that's the thing about being a girl too. Like I had the inside. Like I know there are people like going after her, but I'm doing my makeup next to her. So deal with that.
We're in the girls' vanity room chilling.
Exactly.
I'm getting extra time with her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it came down to choosing who I wanted to couple up with, they didn't show it, but also me and Selly, like we had just always flirted and made out and like had a good time. Like we weren't on the same season of Love Island, but we were like in the same friend groups and going to the same events. So I was in between Selly, Megan, and then Curtis, a guy who was kind of similar to Cash in my type, where he was just like a musician, very like quirky, like had a little bit of like a to him. I don't know. So yeah, it was in between them three. And yeah, at the end of the day, like I went with Megan because I was like, this is someone that I'm intrigued by. And I think that's what you have to do on these shows. It's not always go for the safe route or what you're used to or what would be the most comfortable. It's like, I'm intrigued by her. Like, let's see if this can become something. And she was fiery and fun. I was like, I want to sleep in bed next to her. Like, whatever,
Yes.
you know?
What ended up happening? You guys were coupled up for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, but it was so weird. Everyone thinks it's like some like thing that the show did of being mysterious or Megan asking to leave. But she genuinely got very sick.
Oh, she left early.
Yeah, like they don't even really show her leaving. She just disappears.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
She
I mean,
was sick, like ill, like not healthy.
yeah,
Oh,
I think
man.
in Fiji they say bula to like say hi or bye.
Yeah.
So we would call it bula belly. If you got sick, and it happened in Love Island season 1 as well. But several people got sick, and yeah, it hit Megan hard. But I don't know. Before that even happened, we were in there, and with girls, you don't know who should be initiating and who should be doing what.
Right.
And I felt very much so like I was trying, and it didn't feel like it was fully being like thrown back to
Reciprocated. Yeah.
which is fine. But then she would say things like, well, I really want to try things, and like, no, I actually really like you, and all this different stuff. And then I remember her ex El came in, and she like tried to kiss him or something
And
like
you
that.
were like-
Yeah, and I was just like, it's one thing. I don't know. That's the hard thing about shows. No one's even together in a relationship. But I'm the type of person that it's like, so what? You want to go kiss someone else? Like, tell me about it. We're about to get into this bed together. You know, like be like, yo, my ex is here and I'm kind of interested.
And
so like
and
this
it's like they're saying it to you. So you're like, ugh.
Well, no, I would have respected that. It was
Yeah.
the fact that
but
like she didn't.
I
And it came
understand.
out during a game. So that was even more embarrassing because I found out as everyone else did. So everyone's looking at me. I'm getting embarrassed because I'm like, I was dubbed. Like,
Yeah.
and we kind of had like a little moment of like going at each other. But right after that, she got sick and then she like disappeared.
Oh my
Disappeared
God,
into the
right.
into Fiji.
So just so everybody knows, it wasn't a produced moment.
No,
She just was actually sick.
Yeah. And then I was just like very like lonely for a while because I like I didn't like couple up with someone. Like everyone was together, and then like more singles came in, and it was fun, and I ended up like having a thing like with Courtney for 2 seconds, and Carrington came in, and then it was fun. It was a good time, but it was definitely a rocky start for me in the show just because like that happened,
Right. Rocky start, but great representation.
Great representation,
and amazing for people who feel like, hey, if Kyra's doing it, I could do it too.
No, literally, that's the thing that I've always respected about Love Island and my experience on it. Like I said, I can't talk for other people because I've heard some other stories, but I was always kind of allowed to be myself.
Yeah.
And if I was interested in a girl, I was never kind of like shimmied the other way because that's not how the show goes. It was almost like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, do you, So I'm grateful they gave me that space because once again, I'm sure there's other situations where the show doesn't go like that. So they're like, that's not allowed. I was never told that. I was always told to just like choose who I want to choose.
Yeah.
Whether it was a guy or girl, which I appreciated,
Yes, I know.
How it should be,
How it should be for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. But it was great that you were like open enough to say, hey, I'm bi, and you didn't just go in and pretend to be one type of way or something.
Yeah.
So that the producers were always like, yeah, girl, do you. You know what I mean?
True.
And I remember on season 1, even for me personally, that was the first time on a dating show for me that I had a bi
Oh,
character or
really?
a bi cast
No, I
member.
call it characters too. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all characters.
You're
And
my
I'm like,
character.
no, but I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that was the first time I
That was your
produced
first.
somebody who was bisexual, because most of the time everybody is just heterosexual.
I wasn't there to prove a point. I was there to be myself. And I'm thankful that
Yeah.
being myself did allow for people, like I said, at home that are like me, or maybe have a friend that's like me, or a sister or a child, that it's like, we're normal. We're
Yeah,
fine.
of course.
You know, but some people have like these certain
Stigmas
and thoughts in
yeah.
their head, or that I got forever that I'm highly promiscuous because I'm into women, you know, like, or that I'm attention seeking because I'm into women and I'm obviously very feminine. So that can't be true. And I'm doing it for a man's attention. So I just,
Twisted.
yeah, those harsh stigmas that I think are on bisexual women, you know, is just something that I had in the back of my head of like, I'm going to be true to myself and show that that is not necessarily the case. Yeah, for me. Like, I am just, if I like you, I like you. And it's not
Right.
because I'm seeking attention or trying to, I don't know, do something that's just not
No,
true to
there's
liking
no ulterior
someone.
motive. You're just
Yeah.
like, I like you.
Yeah,
Whether
yeah.
you are a man or
Or
a
a
woman.
woman, yeah, like,
Boom.
just like the person, you know, and I'm a normal person. So I just was happy to represent that. And I think online, that's just what I've continued to try to do and to show my dad. He's an amazing dad. He's an amazing man.
Yeah.
And because he is bi as well, does not mean that he doesn't love my mom or he has another partner on the side, you know, like, and those are the comments that I've struggled with because I'm so protective of my family.
Yeah.
And there's still those terrible stigmas of, it's okay to be bi if you're a girl and it's not if you're a guy, or it's not true if you're a guy. You have to be gay. You have to be, you know.
Right.
So they're way harsher on men, you know, in that setting. And I would love to see like, maybe there has been, but just more of an open situation, maybe a bi guy on a season. But
I know.
the world isn't there yet, unfortunately,
Yeah.
it feels like, you know. But I'm happy to be able to do that in the sense of like being a girl and showing that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, girl, get it. I love it. So tell me more about your girlfriend. Do you feel like you found your person, Kyra?
I do. I'm a lover girl, you know.
I love it.
Yeah, she's the first person that I haven't met she's not in my industry, which I love.
Yes.
But yeah, we met on Hinge and she was like playing basketball overseas, and at that point too, I was getting out of that relationship with that guy and I was just like not in the right headspace. Like I knew I needed to do some inner healing before entering something new. And you know, I was trying to get out there and just like get comfortable with like meeting people again and trusting the process.
The dating process.
Yeah. And I met her and I was like, oh, you're amazing.
Mhm.
You're like someone that I completely would want to be with. I just don't think that I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
And we went our separate ways and just stayed in touch. And I took the time to heal. I went to therapy. I found myself again outside of my previous relationship. And yeah, that's when we decided to start dating. I like invited her on this trip. It was like a brand trip or something
Mm-hmm.
that my sister was on as well. And yeah, I just remember my sister being like, she's the one, Kieran. Like, why are you not doing this?
Sis knows.
Literally. And yeah, like we're both lover girls. So we're just like, we do these grand gestures and it feels just like fairy tale moments, but it feels like my reality. So I'm grateful for it.
I love it.
It is my reality.
I
so
love it. She
I'm
still
good
makes
with
the
it.
heart flutter. And
No, yeah, we never,
butterflies.
and I'm sure you can relate to this too. I think in a relationship and what my parents taught me is like, you never do take that person for granted.
Yeah,
Like
no.
my dad's always showing my mom that like he appreciates her, or say she like walks in the room and he hasn't seen her for like an hour or two. He's like, oh my God, look at my girl. And I'm like, why do you sound like you're 20 years old right now? And like, you just saw this hot girl across the room, but like, he never lets her forget that she was that hot girl from across the room that he didn't know when they met at 20. And
Yeah.
like he never
And
lets
she
her
still
forget. And
is.
she still is, you know? So I want that young love forever. And I
Forever.
think you just have to constantly show up for that person and like never just, take them for granted.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I'm happy
Honestly,
for you.
Thank you.
Hopefully
I
that's
know.
me in a couple years.
This crazy girl. Yeah.
I think I'm going to propose first.
I love that. Wait,
Yeah.
let's talk about this. I think this is really fun in
Yeah.
queer relationships when
Mhm.
it's same sex.
Yes.
2 girls, 2 guys.
Mhm.
Like there's no like rule, you
No.
know? I mean, also in straight relationships, like sure, I could have proposed to my husband,
Yeah,
but
but you
we
don't
didn't.
see it often.
You know, it didn't happen. It's not gonna happen. Maybe
yeah.
I'll do it at 5 years, babe. I love you.
Yeah,
But what's like the vibe in your relationship or with your experience dating women? Like how does that decision come about, or how is that decision made? Like, who proposes to who?
Yeah, I think there is a beauty in the sense that we don't have those norms put on us,
Right.
you know, in the way that traditions over time have been when it comes to hetero relationships.
Right.
So I think it just comes down to like the individuals. Like, so with me and her, she was very, you know, the one in the beginning that was like asking me out. That was, you know, coming for me strong, you know?
Pursuing you.
Yeah, pursuing
She was
me.
pursuing you.
So I feel like with this situation, and I even, like, I wanted to say I love you to her so badly for so long, and I was just so scared because of my past to like say it, that she said it first. But I knew that I felt it first, you know? So there were so many situations like that for us where I felt like I wanted to be the first, but I just didn't have that confidence. So like we talked about it, but I want to be the first to do that because I want to show her like I'm pursuing, like I'm going to do this first, you know, in a sense.
Yes.
But yeah, I think in same-sex relationships, there's that beauty of it's just whatever you want.
Yeah,
I know
whatever
a lot
feels
of,
right.
Yeah, I know a lot of people sometimes in a weird way get confused when they see the more, once again, fuck labels, but like masculine woman in the situation, like carry the child if they choose to have kids. And they're like, that's weird because like you would think she would. Why?
No.
That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like it's for, as individuals, whatever makes sense for them in their
Mhm.
relationship. And yeah, for me in that setting, like of a proposal, I'm like, I want to get down on that knee first.
Yeah.
I want to do that shit first.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. You know, and you know. And once again, you're going to have people that listen to this and be like, you know, and just think, that's not true. Or there's no
But it is
person
true.
out there that's like that for you. But for me, and maybe it's because I saw my parents, I just knew that I was going to meet my person one day. And, you know, even with all of my past relationships, I don't look back at any of them like, oh, I hated that I had that and I didn't just right off the bat meet her, because every situation that I went through made me like who I am for her.
Yes, leads you
Like,
to the person and teaches you lessons and makes
Yeah.
you stronger and makes you realize what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I think the craziest thing about finding your one, and you know, like what you just said, if people are listening to this and people are like, oh no, that doesn't exist. Like when you know, it doesn't exist. No offense, it's because that hasn't happened to you yet.
Yeah.
And it will.
Yeah,
Just
and
let it happen
sometimes
to you.
let it happen to you.
Yeah, you
And
feel like it might not
Yeah.
exist because you haven't felt it.
You
There's
haven't
like
felt
this
it.
magic
Yeah.
feeling that you're like, whoa.
And it's hard. It's hard to believe that too when you have been burnt or you've maybe felt like
Definitely.
that for someone and then the trust was broken.
Definitely.
You know, but I guarantee you, like all of those situations, I always say if my girlfriend met me, you know, before I went on Love Island or like in that middle ground period of the other people that I've dated, I don't know if we would have been able to work the way that we work and
Yeah.
if I would have been able to be the partner that she needed, because yeah, I almost felt like I had to be like that breakup before her, like just completely pulled apart and not knowing of who I am to rebuild to
Yeah.
who I wanted to be finally in my life. And thank God I met her after that.
Yes.
And not before. So like
Timing is everything.
timing is everything.
But that's how you know, like when, and it's for your partner as well. It's timing for everything
Yeah.
as well. When things work out, it's because you're both in the right place
Yeah,
for things to work out.
for sure.
And you're allowing your heart to be open for the love
1000%. Yeah.
that potentially happens. And then here we are, right?
Yeah, no, it's insane. And
That's
I'm grateful.
crazy.
So grateful for her.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Let's talk about growing up, your childhood in New York. So
Yeah.
how long did you live in New York until you moved to LA?
I lived in New York until 21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was there for a hot minute, but I started modeling when I was like 8 years old,
Mhm.
which, yeah, I was still in New York. But then once I signed to IMG Models, I was like 13. I started traveling and being in Europe, and I lived like a very fast-paced life, you know, that in a lot of ways I will say I wasn't ready for, but I'm grateful for it because I was able to travel the world and I was able to kind of prove to myself like I can be a boss and like this girl that's
Yeah.
confident, and like there's never something as terrifying as going to another country where you don't speak the language and you're just
Yeah.
like, I have
How
no
do
one
I
to-
do
Yeah.
anything? Yeah.
So just putting myself in those situations, but like the health stuff that comes with it of not treating your body right
Right.
and like trying to be a certain size was just something that I was like, I'm not going to do this. Like
So
I'm
you
not
were
going
struggling with that because
sure.
yeah.
I got signed before I went through puberty.
So you were mini.
So I was so tiny.
So mini.
And
yeah.
like,
and then they
yeah.
expect you to stay that size as you
Yeah.
start developing.
And I just remember at a certain point being like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I decided to leave IMG Models, and that's literally the year that I started catering with my siblings in LA, moved to LA. And that following year got on Love Island. And it was just like,
Oh, okay, cool. So you and your siblings moved to LA just to like
together.
switch it up. You were like,
Yeah.
we're done with New York. You were done with modeling.
Done with modeling. I
Your
had
sister,
like,
you guys are all musicians,
we're all
right?
musicians. It just made sense. And like, you know, spread your wings and fly type of thing.
You and your sister and your brother are so gorgeous.
Thank you.
Obviously, it's because of your parents. They made
Thank
such
you.
stunning children.
Thank you.
So I understand why you got into modeling at such a young
Thank
age. It makes
you.
sense.
Thank you.
But I know it's crazy. It's been a crazy journey for you. But I think that's really cool. I'm proud of you, Kyra. And you came out to LA and you started fresh.
I started fresh and
Yeah.
it was the best decision. That's why nowadays it's like, I feel more fearless because I'm like, even if, like I said, yeah, this thing is my bread and butter and it's what I've been doing for so long, whatever stage you are in your life, there's never a too late moment to pivot and to say, actually, that I'm not that person anymore. Or like, I don't
Right.
want to do this job anymore. And on the other side of that fear and maybe a couple months or a couple years of like floundering and not knowing, like you'll find that shit, especially if you're putting yourself out there. Like, no, not if you sit in your bedroom and you're just like scared of the world. Like you got to put yourself out there while you're floundering. And I always say like fake it till you make it. You know, maybe you don't know, but you'll figure it out as you go. And like the only way you will know is if you fucking try. So
Right, girl.
that the life has helped me realize that. So now I'm
That's
just
right.
like, I'm gonna do it even if I look crazy. I don't care.
So, Kyra, what advice would you give to people who desperately want to be on reality TV? Because you've
gosh,
experienced
yeah.
singing competition,
Mhm.
dating, the challenge, which is like insane physical.
Yeah.
Like, what advice would you give to people? Because so many people want to be in your shoes, you know?
I know, like real advice, number one, I would say is if you do want to be on reality TV, the first step is like sharing your life. And in that sense, like being your authentic self online, which I think is fun. It's not for everyone, but before getting put on Love Island, especially my sister who got DM'd, like she would just like post fun stuff of her living her best life. And I think that's what they're looking for are people that are authentic, that they're not scared to be in front of a camera and to like show their vulnerable moments. You know, like I had a lot of crying videos, I think, around that time as well. So they're like, all right, she's fine crying on camera, you know, and it wasn't performative. It was just like, I always chased a sense of community, sometimes that I didn't feel like I had in my normal life. So like, yeah, that's the first step is like sharing, you know? And then when you're being interviewed, say you do audition, another piece of advice is like share all the stories.
Yes.
Share all the cringy, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, let them get a sense of who you are. And I always say this too, like even if you have a crazy past and you've maybe had some growth, they don't need to know that yet. So I remember even going on Love Island and I had some stories that no, at that point I wouldn't have like repeated on the show, but they didn't know that. And I went in there and I presented myself the way that I wanted to.
Yes.
But especially in those beginning interview stages, like just share it all and be authentic and like talk to them like they're your best friend or your sister and someone who you're giving all the tea to, you know, because that's going to get you on the show. They're going to be like, oh, this is a full person who's comfortable being themselves. And they're going to do that on the show, you know? So it's going to be entertaining. They want you to be entertaining. So just be you times 100.
That is such good advice.
Yeah.
She is so correct, you guys.
These days, I say as well, like social media is your portfolio.
It is. It
you know?
truly is.
So even if like my girlfriend who's in dental school, like she posts a lot of dentist stuff because when she's going to look for like residency or like somewhere else to get more education, like she wants that to be online and to show that like she's passionate about it. So in any sense, even if you have your own business, I say like social media presence is so important in any avenue of life. Not even if you just want to be an influencer these days or be on a reality show. Like everyone needs it. Yeah.
What do you think the craziest thing or like the biggest rumor you've heard about yourself or misconception do people have from your online presence or, you know, just you being on so many different reality shows? What do you think people sometimes come back and say to you that is not correct that you would like to clear the air?
Yeah, well, no, I just think online a lot of people say that like go outside and touch grass type shit. Like, why are you sharing your life so much? Are you seeking attention or do you even have a life outside of what you show? You know, like I think a lot of people think just like the reality shows that the 15-second TikTok that they're seeing or the 3-minute vlog even is my whole life. And that they're seeing everything and that there's nothing outside of that.
Obviously not. I find it mind-blowing. I mean, maybe because I'm a TV producer and I work in the industry,
That's why.
but I'm like, obviously this isn't your whole entire life.
Literally, or obviously this hour-long show isn't everything that happened.
Right.
So I think a lot of people think that. And I'm like, I share a lot. I'll be honest about that. But there are a lot of things that happen in my personal life as far as business and things that I'm working on that you don't know.
That you don't share.
So yeah, so I think that sometimes they just think, especially because a lot of people know me from reality TV, but now there's this whole other side that know me from like family content. And sometimes I think that people just think I'm like inside doing these little TikTok dances 24/7 and I'm not like doing anything else. And they're like, what is your life? Why are you doing this? Like,
for
it's
everybody
so
listening
dumb.
and not watching, Kyra's just been doing TikToks while I've been interviewing her the
like
whole
literally,
time.
So
Yeah, that's crazy.
or why are you showing these moments? It's intimate. I'm like, because it's one that I chose to show with you. There's hundreds more that I didn't, So I think that's the thing that a lot of people think of anyone that shares their life is that they're getting everything. And it's like, you do know me to a certain level, but there are things that I keep for just myself and just my family.
You and your family have blown up.
Crazy.
You guys are so much fun.
Thank you. No, it's been so much fun to be able to do it with them. And I was nervous in the beginning because I know what comes with it. And if people do have something to say, and you're almost innocent to how people might judge or take certain things that you present about yourself before it happens to you.
Yeah.
So when my family, when I first started like posting them, they didn't have all like these socials and things that they were doing. Like now they all have their own pages. They're like doing the damn thing.
Yeah,
like, they're in.
They're immersed.
Yeah. But at first I was so protective and scared that like I can take the heat, but like don't come for my dad.
Yeah.
Don't come for my sister. So that was hard in the beginning. But once again, my parents always taught us like authenticity and being ourselves. And that's what all of them do online. But sometimes I'm like, don't say that. Because even though I know what you mean by that, don't say that.
Oh, like you stop your family from saying things.
Yeah, like sometimes there's certain things that as a
they
family.
want to clap back and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, don't give anyone that energy.
Yes, it's not worth it.
No, we've been approached by several different people for reality shows.
Yeah.
And every single time I'm like the only one in my family that I'm like, I don't think we should do this. Because I know.
Well, you've also experienced so many, so you can speak on so many different elements of saying yes or no to a show, how you're treated from the jump from casting, the questions you're being asked, the production company, all the things like location. And
storylines.
Storylines.
That's the thing. This is life. There's a good guy. There's a bad guy. There's someone in between that you don't know how you feel about that person. And there's going to have to be that person in, say, a show with my family or something like that. And I don't want that to be, something for one of them. Like, I don't want to be in fights with my family on TV.
No.
Every family goes through it. But I think that is one thing that I'm like, our struggles are our struggles.
Yeah.
And like I said, we share a lot, but like any family, we've gone through stuff and there's just certain things that only we need to know, as a family and go through.
Yeah.
I think that's why we've always hit the brakes, because every single person that we've talked to and we've like did meetings back to back, all the different stuff. But I've just sensed, they really are, when they're looking at me and my sister and they're like, but you guys, I'm sure you guys have gotten jealous of each other. Like, tell me like this and that and how it's still in your, and I'm just like, I just don't, I'm fine. Like I said, it's weird. I'm fine doing that with other people on TV, but with my family.
No, I get that. That's super personal.
Yeah. I just feel like family is sacred. And like, to me, I don't want to mix that too much with that world in a sense. Social media and having fun TikToks and stuff like that is, I think, a good place to be.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
But wait, so your dad is a fashion designer, right? He designs his own clothes?
Yeah, that was like my parents met at Parsons in New York.
Oh, no shit. That's so cool.
So they're college sweethearts. And yeah, for a while, he was like Tommy Hilfiger's right-hand man.
What?
Like, yeah, he had his own like line on QVC. It was insane. Like, my dad would like design me dresses and then like sew them together, and me and my sister would wear them. Like, we felt like little princesses.
You just put this cute little denim fit on recently that your dad made.
Yeah, he literally made that, and
it's gorgeous. I was like, I want that. Can I have it?
I'm trying to push him, in that direction of creating again. But yeah, my parents like popped out 3 kids in New York City. My mom was a fit model, which a lot of people don't know what that is, but it's not like in front of the camera. It's like the designer sews it on you and you tell them, oh, this is like too tight here, or like there's certain terms for it. But yeah, they're both in the fashion industry. So I think they just popped out a bunch of kids that were also creatives, and they really allowed us to like try whatever we wanted to in life. And also, I think my dad grew up a little bit feeling like a loner. He's bisexual as well. And like he just, I don't know, he never felt very comfortable being himself fully. And then when I started posting him online, and that's the beautiful thing about social media in a way, is when you're not getting all the hate, you're getting the sense of like love from this community of people that see you and support him. And I know that that's helped him so much as well, like get back into his like creative space of like being himself, you know, and that's been fun to watch as well.
A positive light from it. So out of all your experience on all the reality shows, what would you say was your favorite experience?
Oh my God, there's nothing like your first, right? So that's actually not true. But Love Island, like USA season 1 was probably like one of the best moments of my life. It's been amazing to go on all of the other shows. I've learned something new every time. But there was just something about walking up in Fiji on Love Island and experiencing that for the first time.
Like, I love that I was a part of that.
Oh my gosh. And you were like the best producer I've ever worked with, because like I said, you were just so true. It was hard at times because you wouldn't give me like a straight answer on how I looked maybe, or like what I should do. But it was very much so a time where I just like was like, fuck it, I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to do whatever feels right to me in the situation. And I'm going to be more social and like talk to all these people and make these connections. Like I had best friends from that show that you grow more, you live your own lives. Like it gets harder and harder. Like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But that show like taught me so much about myself. I had like my first boyfriend out of it, you know, which was so cool. And yeah, it was the start of the reason why I got on these other shows and why I'm able to be on social media the way that I am. So it was literally what I owe like everything to, you know.
I got a text.
I got a motherfucking text. Oh my God, that scared me a little bit. Like, where am I?
What is it going to tell us to do? Where do we have to go?
Yeah.
For you, Kyra, like when I type in your name to Google and I look up all the tea about Kyra Green, it says musician. So
I don't know why it says that.
Do you consider yourself
No, not at all. Like, I think it's because of Kids Bop.
Oh.
So I was a Kids Bop kid for like 3 years under contract.
Oh my God, no way. I had no idea.
I remember being at the audition and being like, there's no way, because Zendaya was like there. I'm like, you only usually hire one black girl, which is what happened. The token one at that point. And I was like, there's no way. And I actually thought I didn't get it.
They hired you.
They hired me.
Over Zendaya.
Yeah.
I'm screaming.
I mean, she's fucking killing it.
Wait, excuse me. That's kind of a fun fact,
It's a fun fact. Yeah, it's insane. But I remember just seeing her there, and like we had to like learn these dances and do all this crazy stuff. Like
it's
so
wild
fast.
That you can say I beat out Zendaya at Kids Pop audition.
Like I said, once again, homegirl is killing it. But yes, in that moment in time, beat out Zendaya. And that was insane. That was like, we were treated like little celebrities. Like we did all the commercials, we went on tour, we did all the music videos. All of that stuff is still on YouTube. Yeah, so
all that stuff's on YouTube. Maybe that is why it says musician.
I think so, because there were lots of articles written like Billboard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think most of like my press stuff is like for sure Love Island, but also that.
If you were to change what Google says, what would you want it to say?
Content creator is so boring, but that's like what I do.
Yeah.
I also, like I said, I started my own podcast, and like I posted a couple different things, like JBL. I just went to South by Southwest, and I was like their host to interview the artists. So like,
so awesome. You can have your thing say TV personality content creator.
There we go. Google, hook your girl up.
So what's next for Miss Kyra Green? Anything dropping? Any top secret tea?
There are things I would say in the works with my family, which is very exciting, and hopefully something that lands that we've been working on. But
amazing.
But yeah, we're starting a cooking channel on Patreon, At Home with the Greens, where all the recipes that people are always like, what is going on? What are you making? Please break it down. Like, we're breaking it down on there, and that's going to launch this summer.
Yes, because your family's vegan, right?
We're vegan, and we just try to make it a fun environment. Like, we don't judge. My girlfriend's not vegan. We're not one of those families where we're like, we're not cool with people that aren't. Right. But we just try to make fun, easy recipes for people that are trying or just,
it's really cool that you're all vegan so that collectively you're making large amounts of things. Yeah. I feel like a lot of the time when people are vegan, they're like the one person in the family. Yeah. So they're making like smaller portions or smaller
family
things.
Size.
Family size. So like, I'm sure I'm sure your recipes are amazing.
It's fun. It all stems from my mom and like recipes that we grew up eating that we weren't vegan at that time and ways that we've adapted and changed it. Like my dad, he did it for health reasons. I did it because I like the fur babies. We all have our different reasons, but it's just fun to like come together and make these recipes that really are just like family style fun recipes for everyone to try. So that's been fun.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to
thank
tell
you.
Gordon Ramsay if I work on another show with him. I always
Literally,
randomly
let
do
him
Gordon
know.
show.
Bring us in.
Check out the Green family,
That
Gordon.
would be insane.
Wouldn't it be?
That would be insane. Please. I'm going to manifest that. But yeah, just watch all the family vlogs online on all the platforms. We're just sharing life and all the fun things that are happening in life and moving and grooving through it with everyone.
That.
Yeah.
So this is where we are in the podcast. We're wrapping it up. We're at the end.
No.
I want you to look at the rack of clothing and what do you call dibs on? Pick it out and I'll pick out one that vibes with it and we'll try it on and play a fun little game.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's cute.
So this one, I chose a denim jacket that has like gold and crystal studded all over it.
It's giving 80s now or something.
It's giving 80s, right? And Kyra, what did you choose?
I chose a cool leather jacket with little rhinestones. It's giving back in my New York City band days, like, you know, in the subway station, just vibing out, being a cool girl.
It's a cool girl. Leather jacket's always super fucking badass.
It is.
And that's all studded too, rainbow studded, perfect, around the collar, up and down the shoulders. So we're blinging right now.
It's giving Crybaby. Do you know that movie?
Yes!
Which literally for Love Island, they were like, who's your celebrity crush? And I was like, Johnny Depp from Crybaby.
She's giving Crybaby.
So I'm channeling him today.
I love it. Okay, so fun fact about that leather jacket is that I've actually never worn that leather jacket. I know. Actually, my husband has. We went to like a rocker 80s party and he wore the leather jacket, but I've actually never worn it. So let's do a fun little this or that game.
Okay.
Ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. Studio session or photo shoot?
Photo shoot.
Writing music or modeling?
Ooh, that's not a tough one, writing music.
Heels or combat boots?
Oh my God, combat boots. I am not a heels girl.
You got these badass boots on right now. I love
always
it.
do.
Vintage finds or designer pieces?
Vintage finds.
Yeah,
for
girl.
sure.
I love it. Full glam or fresh face?
Fresh face.
Fresh face, because she's a gorgeous. First date, do you like it casual coffee or like fancy dinner?
Casual coffee.
Casual
Me and my
coffee.
girlfriend's first date was just a casual cup of coffee that lasted for 4 hours. So I think it works.
I love that. Romantic gestures or meaningful conversation?
The romantic gestures are great, but I think the foundation needs those conversations.
The gestures can come after, right?
Yeah.
Slow burn or love at first sight?
Honestly, for me, slow burn.
Slow burn.
Yeah, I don't think I would have said that. And my mom swears she saw my dad and it was love at first sight. But I think the slow burn worked for me.
Yeah.
Like it's what I needed at that point in my life with the relationship that I'm in.
PDA or keeping it private?
Oh, I don't care about PDA. I'll kiss my person anywhere. I don't think though that it should be like bumping and grinding,
Right.
and like for me personally.
It doesn't have to be so nasty.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'll hold my person. I love just, holding on to your person in public.
Yeah.
Like that's my girl.
Texting or calling?
Calling. I'm a terrible texter and my friends hate me for it. I'm like, just call me.
The same.
Yeah. FaceTime me. Even voice memo me.
Voice memo is it. I love a voice memo.
I love voice memos.
Yeah, because then you also hear like the tone.
Yeah. I'm too sensitive. I'm like, if you text me something a certain way, I'm going to think that it's like bad or I'm in trouble. Like I need to hear your voice.
You
know?
overthink it.
Yeah.
City living or suburban life?
Suburban life.
So when I say LA or New York, are you going to say LA?
Oh my God. I know I could hear this. You know what I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. But I'm a nature girl now.
Yeah.
And like, it sounds so boring, but I'm just a grandma. Like, I don't want the hustle and bustle.
No.
I want to sit outside, hear the birds, and journal.
You are not a grandma and you are entitled to your own opinion. And I love that.
I lived a long city life. I was cray-cray. But yeah, I think at this point in my life, we're a suburban girl.
I think
LA.
also like growing up in New York City, like you grew up in New York City makes you yearn for
I think
nature a little more
Yeah.
because you don't really have it unless you're in Central Park.
It's like, I think the saying of like, you always want what you don't have.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I got to experience that, but I hear from like all my friends now that grew up in the suburbs. They love living in the city because it's so different.
Exactly.
I'm like, I lived that. I want the quietness now, and that's yeah. So you just kind of swap, I think, throughout life. Maybe I will at a certain point go back, but right now I love my house and I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
You know.
Wait, I realize why just right now having this chat, why I see more New York than you. And it's not that you don't have it in your blood.
Why?
Because when you're from Manhattan, you don't have an accent.
Oh yeah.
Like where I'm from, you have an accent.
Yeah.
So
I don't have like the Bronx or Long Island.
It's
or,
just the accent thing.
That's true.
It's just the accent.
That's true.
thing.
Yeah, Manhattan, you don't.
This one's kind of like, oh, do you prefer girls or guys?
Girls.
Girls.
But I've always known that. And like
Yeah.
my sister was always like, you're fine and whatever, but I know you're gonna end up with a girl. Like she's like, I know you're gonna marry a girl. So girls, but
respect.
both are fire.
Yeah, right? I love that you have all the options. Why not? Heyo. Love Island or Love Island Games?
Love Island. I love love. So the fact that there was even another aspect to games where you didn't necessarily have to be there for love, I hated that. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't go on one date outside of the house. I was like, this sucks.
Ugh.
Where's the romance?
You're like, I'm here for the romance,
Literally,
baby.
like I don't want to play dodgeball. I want to go on a date.
I love it. Do you make the first move or do you wait it out?
I think I make the first move. Like I weirdly make the first move and then I'm like, all right, now chase me.
I love
Like I
that.
showed my interest, but that's what my mom always said growing up. She's like, lay the breadcrumbs down so that they know. And then let them like follow the trail.
Yeah.
To get to you.
So they know what they want.
Exactly.
And when you're not giving it all, it's what they're missing out on.
Exactly.
So they want it. I love it. Spill the tea or kind of keep it hush hush?
I'm more of a spill the tea girl.
You're an open book.
I'm an open book with myself, but my friends or my family's tea, I keep it hush hush.
I love that.
Yeah.
212 Green. A
Oh my
reunion
gosh.
or a
Oh.
solo comeback for you?
Oh, definitely not a solo comeback, but maybe you'll find us at, Christmas dinner doing a couple jingle songs. But a comeback as the band, who knows? You never know. Maybe for our kids one day, we'll do like a little reunion performance so that all of our children can watch us do what we used to do back in the New York City subway stations.
Can I be invited to the reunion?
1000%. You and your hubby need to come over for a barbecue. That's the first step.
For those of you listening, if you didn't know, Kyra's band with her brother and sister was called 212 Green.
It was indeed. Because
Fucking gangster.
212 is the New York City area code, and then Green is our last name. So
That's it.
It's light work.
I love it. And then celebrity crushes, like growing up, who would you say your celebrity crush was?
Growing up, Kristen Stewart for girls.
Yes.
And then I love Jason Momoa.
For all the shows that you've been on, what would you say was the most embarrassing moment for you?
Probably the challenge. Like everyone knew that I was sick, but I wouldn't give up on this one challenge. And I was like, literally, like I said, so lightheaded, so unwell coming out of the hospital. But I kept on trying. And I remember Justine, who's from season 2 of Love Island, she just was like, everyone was just watching me, like feeling so bad because I kept on like missing this rope that I had to jump to. And I would just like fucking face plant into the water. And I just kept on going.
Oh my God.
I just kept on going because I was like, I know I can do it. Like mentally, I felt like I could, but physically. And looking back, it's funny now, but it was just embarrassing.
What is something fans may assume about you that's totally false?
I think that people might think I'm like the life of the party or just like super social and outgoing because they like see stuff and me going online or like I'm very open and talking on the internet. But I am more introverted. Like that's the thing, like with my family and my close friends, like I'm crazy. I'm probably the craziest in the room. But yeah, if you just see me out and about or like it's something new that I'm going to and I don't know everyone.
Yeah.
Or you're coming up to me on the street, I am a little bit more like, hi, like a little nervous and shy, you know, that I think people just, they don't believe me when I say that. They're like, there's no way, you know, but it's me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, what'd you think, Kyra?
This was so cute. I feel like we like got so deep, which I love.
So
it's like so good when you sit down and it just like, it flows.
It's a therapy session.
It's a therapy session, but I should have known that because that's my whole entire like season with you.
I love you.
Like I said, you really throughout the whole period of filming that, you like had my back and it just felt like, yeah, like you said, you were genuinely just trying to be like a supportive person in such a crazy process. which I think you don't always find. So I'm
Yeah.
grateful for you for that.
Thank you for
And
saying that. I'm grateful for you.
Thank you. It's
Thank
like
you
full
for being
circle coming here and talking.
Yeah, it's so full circle,
Yeah.
and it's been so many years, and I'm just so
Yeah.
proud of you. You
Thank
flourished
you.
so much. You're growing so much, and I'm
Thank you.
so happy that you're in love.
So cute. So cute.
All right, Kyra, thank you so much again for
Thank
being here.
you.
Honestly, it means the world. It's been so long. It's been 6 years.
A lifetime.
Full circle moment.
Full circle,
We
yeah.
had a whole little let's chat about it all, but I'm so happy you're in
Thank
love
you.
and all the things.
So happy for you.
Thanks, girl. So you guys know what's up. When it comes to reality TV, I've got dibs on this.